I am still buying Beam, despite the advice that I see many people tell me, including a lot of my friends saying, hey, you shouldn't buy Beam and all this type of stuff. Well, I don't give up like that. That's not my style. Now, I'm not telling anyone to follow exactly what I'm doing here, but still, $1, that's my price target for Beam during this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. I'm still buying Beam because ultimately, the way you take a look at it is that the lower the price, the better the buying opportunity for me. Now, $1 is currently around a 180x from here. So I get it. It may sound a little bit crazy, but really, when I take a look at the market cap, it would have at that point, considering current circulating supply, again, at the price of $1, it doesn't seem that crazy because at that point, market cap would be around $52.5 billion, which at first glance may seem like a lot, but really, we've seen Dogecoin reach over $80 billion in market cap, and this was back in 2021, years ago. Keep in mind, during the peak of the 2021 bull run, there was roughly around 300 million crypto owners. However, we fast forward to today, according to Crypto.com research, there's over 600 million crypto owners. So I feel like this upcoming hypothetical peak of the bull run, I think could be a lot more special. Now, some people think the bull run is over, but I still think there's a ways to go. Now, the reason why is because we do know that usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. The last Bitcoin halving event happened in April of last year, so 18 months would actually mean around October this year. Even though it's not a surefire date or anything like that, I think that if anything, even showcases that historically, as a worst case scenario, we could still have a ways to go here. Now, not to mention as well, when I take a look at something like Beam, this is a very special project because, of course, when we take a look at Beam, it's an open source blockchain that is specialized for gaming. And we do know that when it comes to gaming, there's still ways to go because the blockchain gaming market is expected to be worth over $300 billion by 2030, according to Granby Research. I mean, that's bigger than some countries' GDP. Keep in mind, that's a very big figure right there. Now, some people may be thinking, okay, blockchain gaming as of right now is not good. Take a look at many blockchain gaming projects out there that are releasing games. They say that, wow, the games are very tacky. They don't look good. They're not that fun. Who's going to play that? But the way you take a look at it is that in the beginning stages of most industries out there, it's not like they have the formula, dialed in at the first go. It's not like when it comes to making cars, it wasn't like the first ever car made was able to go, do Formula One racing or something like that. You know what I mean? It was a gradual progression, right? It's just the natural thing. Now, I'm not into cars, but I'm just making an example. But even besides that, I think a lot of industries out there, when they're in the beginning stages, it's not like they have everything in the right, motion. So the way to take a look at it is that when it comes to something like blockchain gaming, yes, it's not doing good as of right now when it comes to the quality of games, when it comes to the, just the overall gameplay experience. I would say generally speaking, I'm not saying for every single one out there, but I'm saying generally from what I've noticed. But I think that this is kind of the beauty of it because for me, I want to enter into a space that really hasn't popped off yet, something that really is trying to get the formula right, so to speak. But then it's going to take some time. I like that. That's just why I do love projects like this that are focused on blockchain gaming because the market is still on the rise. It hasn't relatively kind of peaked yet, which is why I still believe in this. And again, when people say blockchain gaming isn't the best as of right now, and generally speaking, I would say, yeah, it's not the best, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for markets that have the right concept, but then still haven't really gotten it right yet. But that's the beauty about it. Again, I think blockchain gaming by nature could be so amazing because let's say through play to earn games, let's say if I'm able to potentially earn income by playing games through that, wouldn't that be a total game changer? Now, most games out there that have a play to earn aspect, they're really not sustainable. I mean, the tokenomics usually are out of whack. And also, not to mention, the game isn't even fun at all. So it doesn't really make sense really to play that. But even besides that, the way to take a look at it is that if they get it right, if let's say the market really does get that correct and fully up and running, so to speak, it would be a total game changer because imagine I can play video games and hypothetically earn income by doing that. Wouldn't that be amazing? Now, again, that's a total game changer in the sense that traditionally we see streamers, these influencers, they play games, they stream it, and then they earn income or they get sponsorships or something like that. Or let's say they're professional gaming or whatever and a professional gaming team. Then we see them hypothetically earn income. But then usually the average gamer who's, let's say, playing Batman in their living room or something like that how are they gonna hypothetically earn income, right, by playing games? So then play-to-earn games could hypothetically change the way people view gaming and not really just, hey, this is kind of a waste of time or something that's just used to have fun. I think there could be something beyond that. So the way to take a look at it is that blockchain gaming has the right concept. It could be very revolutionary. However, only time will tell, but that's what I like about it. Now, when we take a look at Beam, something that it's very well known for is something called the Beam SDK. Now, SDK stands for Software Development Kit. And what's so amazing is that this allegedly allows game developers to choose from a variety of tools that can be used to fuel and structure their in-game blockchain elements. So yeah, again, just a very fancy way of saying that, hey, Beam is focused on blockchain gaming. But even besides that, you have to take a look at the other aspects of the Beam ecosystem. We take a look at something called Beam Swap, which is a decentralized exchange. We take a look at the Beam Layer 0 bridge, which is a bridging solution to transfer tokens between Beam and other blockchains. We take a look at Sphere, an NFT marketplace, and BeamOS, a portal for exploring tools and apps on the chain, and also Beam Block Explorer, which is a tracking platform for all Beam transactions and statistics. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, right? But basically, when I take a look at Beam, it's just really focused on blockchain gaming. That's the way to take a look at it. The other ones are just, purely, I guess, for show, I suppose. But even besides that, we have to take a look at what created/launched Beam in the first place. It's something called the Merit Circle DAO. Now, the Merit Circle DAO is amazing. It's because if we take a look at a DAO by nature, the acronym is like DAO. But even besides that, the D stands for decentralized, the A stands for autonomous, and the O stands for organization. Now, why is this amazing? It's because when it comes to a DAO, it's an entity that is designed to be fully autonomous without a central point of control. Now, the rules of a DAO are established by a core team of committee members and is executed through smart contracts. Now, to obtain voting power or membership in a DAO, users are typically required to own its governance token, and anyone who holds Beam can vote. So, again, when I take a look at a DAO, by concept, is very amazing, and this is pretty much as decentralized as it gets currently, in my opinion. It's kind of like Waymo, the basically self-autonomous version of quote-unquote, I would arguably say Uber, hypothetically, right? If someone's heard about Waymo, it's like this self-driving taxi or ride service or whatever someone wants to call it. The whole operation seems very smooth, seamless. It seems very quote-unquote decentralized, much like a DAO, in my opinion. That's the analogy I would put on it, even though it's not exactly like that, but it's just kind of like the analogy, again, that I would use when it comes to this. But even besides that, when I take a look at Beam at the price of $1, again, it doesn't seem that crazy to me when I consider the amount of crypto owners, like I mentioned earlier on the video. Not to mention, we take a look at Charles Hoskinson, who not only is the co-founder of Ethereum, but the founder of Cardano. Back in November last year, he did say that 1 to 2 years from then, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. So I think from that alone, it may showcase that, hey, there could still be ways to go here. Is Charles Hoskinson going to be 100% correct? Who knows? Only time will tell. But again, he's just giving his opinion. And my opinion is the fact that I hypothetically also believe that the bull run may be far from over, which is why I still believe in this. And if anything, if I liked Beam before, why would I like it right now when the price is quote unquote hypothetically low? Now, could the price go lower? Absolutely. We just don't know. And not to mention, things in theory could always go lower, but sometimes things go so low until a point that maybe they can't go any lower but back up again. So the way to take a look at it is that, sure, things could go lower, but sometimes they don't go lower forever. Even take a look at Luna Classic, right? Of course, many people know it as Terra Luna, but even that found a bottom and pumped. So, I mean, come on. That pretty much has no future. But again, when I take a look at Beam, this is something that's very amazing. And again, $1, that's still my price target for this board. And all I can do right now is just stay patient, continue to accumulate more hold, and I just wait because I think better days are ahead. And $1 during this board wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Blinny the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.